Reggie Jackson does an interview where he doesn't say back of the baseball card, but he kind of exposes what the front office, what their philosophies are, how they're operating, how they are bringing in free agents, they are.
He made it seem like there's a cabal of Hall of Famers that are very hands-on with the Houston Astros, perhaps more hands-on than general manager Dana Brown.
Yeah, so that kind of starts it. And then Joe Espada, Jeff Bagwell, Dana Brown, since then, have all wanted to tell us how important the back of a baseball card is. Whether it's Jose Abreu or Josh Hader. And then we go back to Jose Abreu, because here was Joe Espada after yesterday's game, once again talking about the exact same thing.
History, the back of his baseball card. He can do it.
He can do it. He can do it. Back of the baseball card. He can do it.
I'm trying to figure out if the Astros are trolling us, because it's hard to maintain success in anything, especially in sports. We all know there will be a day where the Houston Astros are not this version of the Houston Astros. And we're hoping that this year is not the year where that happens. But with the words that are coming out of all the mouths, Joe, that you just outlined, it feels like the Astros are transforming from a blockbuster action franchise in the movie world to a franchise that's trying to be funny. A lot of inside jokes.
Ooh, okay. What movie franchise are the Houston Astros?
Well, how about Marvel? You know how every Marvel scene, the comedy that they force in, it's like, man, I'm so glad we're done with this person. Oh, wait, he's right behind me.
Yeah.
It's sort of, I guess, the Astros version of it where, well, Jose Abreu really looks done. But, the back of his baseball card, though, it's right behind me, huh? Like, that's what I'm getting with them, because they're doing this so much, it really does feel like they're screwing with us. It's kind of funny, but they're losing so much. So I guess this is wishful thinking, is that I want all these people, arrogant people in the Astros organization, to be having fun with us. A little early season inside joke.
I hope it's that. That would be best case scenario, wouldn't? That they're just trolling on purpose. Like you mentioned that one day the success would end. We all knew that. But at the same time, what you had is in the near future, Alex Bregman, Kyle Tucker, Framber Valdez all leaving this organization, right? We all know it's coming. But on paper, you still were always going to have a lot of talent. And you still had Yainer Diaz and Yordan Alvarez and Jose Altuve and these guys. And the window to me was never really going to shut. And I'm not saying it's shut now. It's definitely not. But the start of this season it's jarring because it's so bad. And I don't really understand.
Well, it's not like they're getting outscored by a ton of runs. They're losing a lot of close games. They've had some disastrous moments, and certain players are really struggling. They could have won a lot of these games, though. The problem is they're just getting absolutely killed in late inning situations. They're outscored 31-4 thus far from the seventh inning on.
Yeah, and it's just not good enough. And the thing is too is it's also not like it's. Thank you, Michael Carroll, bringing me coffee, best person in the business, sir. And my debit card. Thank you for bringing that back too.
Welcome, sir.
But it's part of it is that it's a different person every day. That's what's the biggest red flag a little bit, which I know we're going to get into more in the next segment about biggest concerns, is it's a different person's broken every day. But they're really trying this PR spin. And I don't know if it's for us or for them. And honestly, the more I think about it, I think it's for them, Paul. I think that this PR spin is for them because they know the truth. They know the truth is that Jose Abreu is never going to be good at baseball again on a consistent basis. It's probably not going to be like this bad forever. I can't imagine.
How can it be worse? He's batting .078.
He's below his number. How are you below your number? That's terrible. But I wonder if it's a message of just we're stuck. Like, we can't get rid of this guy because Jim Crane is not going to let us just DFA him. And we probably want to. But Jim Crane and Jeff Bagwell and Craig Biggio and Dana Brown and Reggie Jackson, this committee, are not going to admit that they are this wrong. That it's not yet. There's still a year and like 80% left of a deal. It is a tough deal that they're not going to get out of, and they're really stuck. And I think that this is more of a PR spin to themselves of just, it's one of those moments where like you just keep telling yourself that everything's going to be okay. You keep saying like, we're going to be all right. He's going to figure it out, specifically with Jose Abreu. And they know the truth. They know the truth is that he's not. They know that the back of the baseball card's wrong, that it doesn't matter, that it's irrelevant. And he's cooked. And he's not the only problem. He's not why the Astros lost yesterday's game. Ryan Presley's the reason why the Astros lost yesterday's game. Because apparently he can't handle not being a closer. Josh Hader's the reason why they lost the day before.
And Josh Hader can't pitch past the ninth inning because that's not his job per Joe Espada, even though he's making $95 million.
Bad contract.
Let's put in Seth Martinez with a runner on second in the 10th inning. I'm sure he'll be able to keep the Braves and that awesome lineup of theirs at bay. Oh, wait. So
the back of the baseball card's one way to handle this, Paul. That's one direction they've taken. Now, there's a couple other options they have. So we're going to play two options here for you, and I want to know which one that you would prefer. We'll start with, Sean's on the phone right now, so I don't want to bother him. We'll talk about Alex Bregman first. Alex Bregman was meeting with the media yesterday, and he seemed down. He seemed sad. That's the only way I can describe it.
Going through a little depression, huh?
He just seemed like he had been defeated. Sean, are we good to play that audio? It's just one of those things with Alex Bregman where I heard him talk, and I heard a man that sounded
You need Zoloft?
defeated.
Oh.
He sounded frustrated. Here's Alex Bregman yesterday after the game and discussing the recent struggles of the Houston Astros.
I think it just all that matters is execution on the field, preparation prior to the game, and winning.
Does it seem like you've had no margin for error in these close games this year in terms of in the field, at the plate?
Just think we haven't executed well in all phases of the game.
I know last year you guys used a lot of team meetings last year when stuff went kind of south. Is now a time to bring the team together and just kind of have a meeting, or do you feel like it's there yet?
I think guys here know that we need to execute better and play better as a team, and in all facets of the game. And
Team meeting. Chandler asked about team meetings. Is it time for a team meeting?
It's always time for a team meeting.
It's always time. Now, look, the Angels had to have a team meeting after the second game of the season. So the Astros aren't to that point yet. Now, the Angels have won a lot more baseball games.
The Angels are further up in the AL West than the Houston Astros, so clearly the team meeting is a better idea than no team meeting.
Yeah.
Who's even going to call the team meeting without Martin Maldonado?
Great point.
Does anyone know how to run a team meeting?
What does Alex Bregman know about? He's never been a successful baseball player.
Right. Do you need a PowerPoint? Do you need to have a written speech? Got to keep it 3 minutes or less?
Like it's a wedding? Like it's a wedding speech?
It got to be like a wedding speech. You can't.
Listen, I've known Jose Altuve for a long time.
You can't drone on and on and on here. Yeah, I'm game for the team meeting.
I think I'm game for the team meeting, too.
I don't think he sounds depressed. I think that's just typical low energy Alex Bregman fielding questions that are
that's
annoying.
fair.
After a loss.
Right.
It's fair.
He's not the most enigmatic person in front of a microphone.
That's true.
So I'm not hearing that this man needs a little Zoloft in his life.
I mean, they're asking on the Twitch if he turned into Bill Belichick, because that's what it reminded me of.
Well, hey,
the way
Bill Belichick, the biggest winner ever.
Bill Belichick.
Until Robert
can't
Kraft
trust
stopped him from getting another job. Yeah.
And then there's another way you could handle, post-game interaction and how you feel after defeat. Here is Tampa Bay Rays pitcher Peter Fairbanks after getting smoked yesterday.
Was it just a matter of command, location, selection, anything specific?
No, I thought it generally sucked. I didn't think it was a specific suck. I thought it was like an all-encompassing type of suck. So,
love it.
We're going to try and rectify that. But for right now, I'm going to be pretty pissed about it.
I can't the answer. I like that. I like that
like
answer.
the piss and vinegar. It would
all around suck.
It would at the very least make us feel like we're alive, right? Because you compare that to the way that Bregman answered that question. And Bregman, look, he's actually been on a winning baseball team. So there's totally a reason for him to be low energy as someone who's been to 7 straight ALCS. This is not as big of a deal to the Astros as it would be to other teams. But we all would like to hear the guy get a little mad. You've got to get mad. You've got to get angry. Like that crazy guy in the TV show, or the movie Network. You ever seen that one?
I have seen that, yes.
Back in the 1970s, yeah. I lost his mind.
I'll tell you how my brain's working today. Currently, I'm trying to also at the same time think of what movie franchise the Astros are. Right now, I'm landing on Transformers because I like the Marvel movies more than you do. The Transformers started strong and then became a total disaster.
Well, Transformers 1 was good, and the rest of them are debatable.
I like 2 and 3.
Wild. No. And they got rid of Megan Fox because Michael Bay was going Greg Doyle on her.
I can't wait to talk about that. I can't wait to hear your takes on Greg Doyle.
Well,
I just like gut feel like you are going to have strong takes.
Listen, I mean, look, the questions Greg Doyle asked, not the best, but I think more than anything, he's got to get rid of the soul patch. What is that?
Bregman shaved again yesterday. What's
this
up?
Josh Beckett thing.
Alex Bregman needs to figure out what he's doing with his facial hair.
No, it's fine.
This reminds me when he shaved his mustache in the middle of a game. Remember that? Or I don't know if you were in Seattle at the time when that happened, but
I do remember that.
Yeah, he was struggling, so mid-game he shaved the stash. The other day he had a goatee. Now there's no goatee.
Blondes don't grow great mustaches.
Fair.
Yeah.
They do not.
They don't grow great
mustaches.
So
the PR crisis, like that's the thing. This is clearly. Do you feel like this is planned? Like, do you think like they're all, or are
yes,
they? Are
it's
they
definitely planned? They definitely sat down and because either one, they don't trust the guys that are there to actually speak on this without revealing some unfortunate honesty, or B, they think this is a good idea. And that concerns me if that's the case, where they think that this is a good idea. Let's all say that the back of the baseball card is what you got to focus on. May 2nd of last year with Jeff Bagwell. Last week with Dana Brown on Abreu. This week, yesterday, Brown on Hader. Joe Espada on Abreu. They're saying it over and over again to the point where either one, they feel like the people that work in this organization are like Deshaun Watson and need bullet points to go back to. Watson, remember last year, I've never assaulted, never disrespected, and never harassed any woman in my life. I can't speak on anything because there's an ongoing investigation, but when I can, I'll talk about it. He kept on saying that over and over and over again. It's one of those two things. But here's the problem along the way. Either intentionally or unintentionally, the Astros are showing zero respect to you, to me. They are showing zero respect because they think that this is a passable answer. And it's not.
It's not. But that's why I can't tell if it's planned or if it's parroting. Because that I think it is. Those are two different things, right? Where it's like, I don't like if there's a team meeting amongst the council and PR staff of like, hey, look, Jose Abreu sucks ass. Like, we're just going to continuously back of the baseball card. And then when other guys start to struggle, like Josh Hader and Ryan Presley, we're probably also should just use the same line over and over again. And then maybe one day, like, people will believe us. Or if it's like you hear Jeff Bagwell say it, and everyone's like, well, you know, let's just keep rolling this.
Who thought that was a good idea? I that's my big issue. Okay, like Joe, we don't get paid that much in radio, but there's somebody working for the Houston Astros who is being paid probably handsomely in the PR team to come up with that. That's the best they can do. Hire me. I can do that on the side. I can lie for you. I can think of something more creative than this. The back of the baseball card over and over and over again. Come on, guys. Listen, we're talking about a team that's been to 7 straight ALCS, that has been to 4 World Series, that has won 2 of them. And this, to me, is reflective of the organization perhaps taking a step backward. Forget the players on the field. Forget the roster construction. Forget the game management decisions. I'm just focusing on this. The PR, this is what they're choosing to do, is to have a group huddle and say, okay, let's just talk about the back of the baseball cards until things figure themselves out. Come on. Give me a new lie every day. You're paid probably better than me. Figure it out. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to lie. It isn't. I don't do it because I'm a lot like George Washington. But it is not that hard to lie. And if you pay me to, I will. And I'll think of a better one than this. This is bad. It's so bad. Some key figures in this organization need a competence test.
Is the movie franchise Indiana Jones?
Ooh. Now,
because the problem is there's a lot of bad ones. This is really the first bad Astros season. You could maybe say 2020, but that's also.
But there's been two bad Indiana Jones movies.
But this is the Shia LaBeouf Indiana Jones.
The Shia LaBeouf character in that one was actually a good character.
I agree, but the movie was not good.
I honestly forgot about that one. Right. I just thought the one that came out this year was the fourth one.
I refuse to not watch the new one, even though they brought the Nazis back in.
But the reason I went with that one is because.
From commies to Nazis.
Was because Harrison Ford, the back of his baseball card looks good, but in 2023, I'm not sure if he is still an action star.
King of all Twitches is saying Godfather franchise. That's true. Part 3, I've never seen. I'm told I should never see it.
It was tough. I had never seen it until the pandemic, and they put it on Netflix. And
Al Pacino, back of his baseball card.
Yeah, I watched all 3 in one day.
Just when I thought I was in, they pulled me back out.
Josh Hader's Andy Garcia.
Can I just pick the Irishman as like the characters that were in the Irishman? The back of all their baseball cards are incredible, but the Irishman, that movie sucked.
If you just treat it as the sequel to Goodfellas, then yes, I guess
Like all the characters in the Irishman, you're like, dude, this is a great cast, and then you see the movie and it's 3 hours, 4.5 hours long, whatever it is.
Wow, Ray Romano's in this.
It's tough. From the 346, feels like there was a long stretch of stench last year, too, becoming a habit. Yeah, I think that's fair. After when you got swept by the Yankees, you have the series in which you get swept by the Royals. You struggle versus the A's. At the end of the season, yes, you sweep the Diamondbacks at the end of the year, right, to win the division. But that's really when the stench is fair really started. And then it went into the playoffs because that's the last 2 months of the season's really when they started to push the narrative about the batter's eye. That's really what it was. Like the back of the baseball card was a thing last year, but the big one was mostly the batter's eye. Well, they eliminated that issue, so now they've come up with this issue.
The batter's eye at least makes sense. Referring to the back of a baseball card for a guy who was approaching 40, no matter how good his career has been in the past, is crazy. It's as if you're ignoring the concept of, time, which is real.
We just don't know how old he's either. He's fallen off a cliff. It's a steep cliff. This isn't this is like, I'm gonna see how many movie references we can get in today. This is like Mufasa falling off the cliff. Like that's
Spoiler.
Who's Scar?
Spoiler alert.
Who's Scar throwing him off the cliff? Long live the king.
Joey Loperfido? John Singleton? I guess they haven't thrown him off yet.
Yeah, no, he's still hanging on the cliff.
Everyone would root for Scar this time around.
I will say, if we're going through this metaphor, the wildebeest are stampeding.
Yeah.
We are Simba.
Simba is still in danger.
Yes.
We're Simba.
Yeah. and Mufasa, Jose Abreu, is holding on for dear life.
So does that mean,
at this point?
Does that mean that we need to just say Hakuna Matata and completely ignore the Houston Astros?
I think that's what back of the baseball card is.
It means no worries for the rest of your days. No. Because again, we're all low key rooting for Scar to win here because we all kind of want we want Jose Abreu to disappear. No, not like that. I'm not suggesting that. But we all would like to see less
of Jose Abreu.
Yeah. Jeremy Branham started a fundraiser, GoFundMe.
For a great cause.
It's for a great cause. It goes to the Houston Food Bank.
Oh, no. I thought it went to the rest of Jose Abreu's contract.
I mean, if we get the right amount of money, we could audible here.
I thought it was
But
to buy him out.
Jose Abreu needs to be DFA'd. $39 million goal, $158 raised thus far.
Yep.
4 donations going straight to the Houston Food Bank. So Jeremy Branham trolling for a cause.
Trolling for a cause.
I
do appreciate that.
A good man.
Yeah, it is a
shout out to TJ Jordan, Max Zapata, and Jeremy Branham, who donated $78, which is, if you didn't know that, Jose Abreu's average right now.
Now, my question to Jeremy, like, are you going to adjust how much you donate? Like, if Jose Abreu gets 4 hits tomorrow night, like, are you going to increase your donation? But then when he starts to suck again, are you going to take away your donation?
Also, he's
going to balance it.
He's hitting 078 or what is that? 078, right?
Yeah.
So that wouldn't that be 78 cents?
Yeah, but you can't do that to your own fundraiser.
Yeah, you can't do that to the food bank.
It actually be 7.8 cents.
Yes, it would be.
Good point. Yeah, all right. What concerns you the most about the Houston Astros in 2024 right now? The biggest thing for me is that they have all the pieces and they just can't figure out how to put it together.
Well,
that's
pretty vague though. That's
you have
everything. What do you have? Is there a specific spot you're thinking of?
I think it's they can't play a complete baseball game as a team. So you get,
but it's baseball though. That doesn't happen. It's an individual sport.
But every single game, every single day, it's like that. Where it's like you get production from your rotation, and you get a little bit of production from your lineup, and then your bullpen's a disaster.
Okay, so
I'm thinking more big picture.
Just the whole team isn't good the same day.
Yeah, like they can't consistently put it together. Specifically though, I'm gonna
Get specific.
I'm gonna back off Jose Abreu for a second, and I'm gonna target you, Ryan Presley.
Oh,
because Ryan Presley is supposed to be a key part of this team going forward. And Josh Hader is, I still believe, and he's going to be the closer. That's not going to change, right? Ryan Presley, if this is a mental thing where he is struggling without the Johnny Cash and he's coming into the 9th inning, that problem is not being fixed by the Houston Astros. He will not be this closer, spoiler alert, for the Astros unless an injury happens to Josh Hader. So he has to figure out a way to be able to get outs when it's not the 9th inning, because we know how great he can be. But
we talk about guys who are diminishing in skills, though, and I mean, isn't it fair to assume that Ryan Presley is running into the same problem as a Jose Abreu? He's just getting older and he's not as good. Happens to a lot of players. I'm not even going to hold it against Ryan Presley. More so, I take a look at just the contract that he's under and wonder about many of the contracts that the Astros are giving out to guys, because a lot of them just are bound to not age well.
Yeah, now Presley's contract, to me, it's not bad, because if this was the cliff for him to fall off of, you're out of it, right? Like,
but we were calling him Stresley last year.
No, you were. I mean, yeah, Junior Bronco said the same thing on the Twitch. Like, he started to break a little bit last year. I don't disagree.
I mean, that's part of the Hader signing as well. Presley perhaps got a little bit of disrespect from the fans here, but moving him into this other role, which is obviously something that might be difficult for him, it shouldn't be that difficult for him. You're still on one of the best teams in baseball, right? I mean, at least on paper. So I look at Presley. I don't think that's as much of an issue, because he's one of many guys in that bullpen. And I mean, for all Presley's struggles, I got to give Rafael Montero a lot of credit. He's been really good this year.
Big time.
Now, my biggest issue, it's the lineup. I've said it a bunch of times. They are capable, more often than not, of scoring 8 runs or so. We saw it over the weekend against the Texas Rangers. And then these 3 games, 1 run, 4 runs. They have been outscored 31-4 after the 7th inning. They were 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position yesterday. They were 4 for 24 with runners in scoring position over the course of the series. And yesterday, the 2 moments that really stunk, both involved Yainer Diaz and Jeremy Pena, who were, for a time at least, off to really good starts. 5th inning, 2nd and 3rd, just 1 out. Yainer Diaz strikes out. Jeremy Pena grounds out. 10th inning, you got a runner on 1st and 2nd. Kyle Tucker walks. Diaz flies out. Pena double play. So they had a runner on 1st and 2nd to open up the 10th inning with 0 outs. And completely donezo right there. And that's not the back of the lineup. That's not Jose Abreu. That's not John Singleton. That's not Chas McCormick. Guys who have been struggling. That is 2 guys that have actually gotten up to pretty good starts. I don't know how to explain why they're not good late in games, because you would think a team that's been to 7 straight ALCS would be great in clutch moments, as they're described. they are garbage in those moments, and I have no explanation for it. And then factor in that the bullpen you're spending a lot of money on that you referred to, with whether it's Presley or it's Brian Abreu, who at least looked good last night, or it's Josh Hader, who at least looked good, I guess, yesterday afternoon. You add those two up, and, amazingly, the starting rotation depth is actually not much of an issue.
Yeah.
Comparatively.
Yeah. I think that what's most frustrating about this series is what you got from the rotation. Like, that's what's hard about, like, what's most frustrating about this team is that I don't want to panic. They're only 4.5 games back of the division. Like, it's still early. I know that every single day people love to tweet that no team has made the playoffs since blah, blah, blah with this record 20 games into the season. But you have Verlander coming back. You have Fromber coming back. You have all these guys. But the thing is that, like, coming off the Rangers series, when last week it was all about your starting pitching just getting dominated in the most embarrassing fashion possible. You put up 3 starts in which your starting pitching is plenty good from guys that you didn't expect because of how they performed recently. Eric Getty, Brown, JP France, they did a great job, an incredible job versus the Atlanta Braves. And you failed to win a single one of those games.
I mean, that was what we were terrified about. And that's why when I asked, I think was it Thursday, Friday, or maybe it was Monday, I forget. I think it was before Monday's game, where I asked, hey, 3-2-1, how many games are the Astros winning in this series? And both you and Sean said 1. We thought it was because the starting pitching was going to get shellacked.
Yeah.
The starting pitching was great these past 3 games. Really, they were great. They did way more than anyone expected. Poor Spencer Arrighetti gets sent down after a really good start.
Oh, Forrest Whitley, R.I.P.
Forrest Whitley, hey, wasn't it terrible 2/3 of an inning?
And all I know is that I lost a bet for 2/3 of an inning. That sucks.
Man,
not really. I guess I should have caveated
Joe George
that.
isn't going to be putting any money in that GoFundMe because someone sounds cheap.
Like, I guess I should have caveated that. Like, he has to pitch like 10 innings for the Astros.
Don't weasel your way out of it.
An inning.
I know. He has to pitch a full inning for the Astros. Like, I lost that for nothing. All right.
You just had somebody buy you a coffee.
No. I paid for that coffee.
You had it hand delivered.
He hand delivered.
Did you give him a tip?
I bought him a coffee.
Okay, but did you give him a tip because he also delivered it?
I'll get to that. That's a good point. I'll have to do that.
Walk over.
Did you have a plus 15% on your phone or what?
Just find a way to I'll see if I can find some change in my car.